Let's step into the cockpit of Flight 1549 for a heart-stopping journey you won't forget. Imagine boarding a routine flight, eagerly looking forward to your destination, only to face a life-or-death situation within moments of takeoff, with veteran pilot Sully Sullenberger at the controls. When disaster struck shortly after departing from LaGuardia, the entire world held its breath. Could Sully land the crippled plane safely on the Hudson River? Did every passenger make it out alive? In January 2009, a tragic event unfolded within moments on US Airways Flight 1549. Captain Sully Sullenberger, a respected pilot, faced a sudden crisis after taking off from LaGuardia Airport. The fate of everyone on board rested on his shoulders. This extraordinary incident captured global attention, leading to the remarkable story of Flight 1549, a heart-stopping landing that became much more than just that. What led to the engine failure? During Flight 1549's takeoff, 2 engines failed when the aircraft collided with a flock of Canadian geese, and the sound of alarms filled the cockpit, followed by the eerie calm of the engines cutting out. For Captain Sully and First Officer Jeff Skiles, this was the moment every pilot prays they never have to face. How did Captain Sully's quick thinking save Flight 1549 from disaster? Presented with this unprecedented emergency, Captain Sully's training and experience took over. With limited options, he quickly analyzed the situation and devised the daring plan to attempt an emergency landing on the Hudson River. It was a high-stakes gamble that would have to be executed flawlessly and at the absolute last second. What happened in the emergency room in the moments before landing on the Hudson River? As Flight 1549 approaches the icy waters of the Hudson River, Captain Sully informs the crew and passengers that they must brace for impact. The entire event miraculously concludes when the aircraft touches down smoothly on the water's surface due to Captain Sully's remarkable piloting ability. Because the miracle on the Hudson had just taken place before our eyes, the aircraft seems to float. News outlets all over the globe. How did the media react to the landing of Flight 1549? The entire planet understood the incredible tale of how 155 crew members and passengers were fortunate enough to survive the Hudson River crash into the sea. These heroes clambered out of the sinking plane, stood on the wings, and climbed into lifeboats to be rescued. This slick ending to the film was likely due to Captain Sully's stalwart leadership, the professionalism of the crew, and the passengers' ability to maintain their focus. What were the key findings from the investigation into Flight 1549's Hudson landing? As the initial shock of the emergency landing dissipates, investigations begin into the cause of the engine failure and the extent of the damage to the airplane. Furthermore, teams work to ensure the recovery of the sunken plane from the Hudson River. This proves to be a complex matter that requires careful planning and execution. How was Captain Sully recognized for his heroic actions after the miracle on the Hudson? The heroic recognition of Captain Sully. In the days and weeks following the crash, Captain Sully and his crew are rightly hailed as heroes. Throughout the country, they are presented with awards and recognition for their bravery, quick thinking, and teamwork. US President Barack Obama even invites the crew to the White House to personally thank them for their outstanding achievements. Implications for aviation and the passengers involved. Just as is to be expected, the miracle on the Hudson leads to an immediate review of aviation safety measures and protocols, both in the air and at airports. Subsequently, airlines and regulatory agencies across the world cooperate to develop new procedures that would prevent bird strikes and ensure swifter emergency preparation. Who were the passengers and what were their experiences during the crisis? In terms of passengers, while only mild injuries were observed, many of them faced significant psychological trauma. Indeed, the moments leading up to the emergency landing proved to be too much for multiple persons on board. Passengers' stories respect the delicate nature of each individual soul on Flight 1549. A young family on a tour, a businesswoman on her way to a life-changing meeting, An old couple celebrating their anniversary. Their ordeal reveals a human's strength, and areas where that trait falls short. Who were the brave rescuers and first responders who saved lives on the Hudson? The miracle on the Hudson was not only a manifestation of the crew's inherent heroism, it was also an expression of the enviable heart and dedication from the rescuers and first responders. Boats and helicopters arrived on the scene moments after the emergency landing and swiftly removed the passengers from the icy waters, ensuring safety to everyone.